Alright, so today we're going to cover 3 components of fitness. Alright, before we start, I need you to take these 3 definitions and try to match them up to what you think they are. If you get them wrong, we'll discuss that at the end. Good. Now, before we start, that's a KWL chart. You filled this out the first time. Right, a couple things you know, a couple things you want to know, and then what you learned will go towards at the end. You can fill it in while we work. So start off with what you know about these 3 components of fitness. Try to cover as much as you can, and then what you would like to know. Also, if you know different exercises, if you think you know, add that as well so I can see if you have an understanding of exercises that go within each, whatever you feel like you know what you would like to know. Alright, so before we start, let's check these out. Good, good, and good. So it looks like you have a good baseline knowledge of everything. So we're going to go right into the cardiovascular endurance system. Alright, so if you want to continue writing down a couple notes, whatever you learn. So quickly, simply put, the cardiovascular endurance system is the body's ability to continue exertion while getting energy from the aerobic system used to supply the body with energy. So why is this important? The body is going to break down oxygen, okay, and that's going to help use energy stored in the mitochondria, which is usually fat and protein in the aerobic energy system. All right, so during cardiovascular endurance, we run through the phosphagen system and the glycolysis system. After those 2 systems of energy are used, we go right into the aerobic system. And because cardiovascular endurance is long distance, anything that requires distance or long term, it's going to use fat proteins as its main source of energy. Alright, so real quick, I want you to read this front page. Alright, this is just a quick, brief outline, and I want you to just, whatever main points you think, underline them, because that's going to go towards later. Alright, so quickly, just read through that and see what you finished. Alright, so after reading that, I want you to write down one question that you have regarding anything to do with the cardiovascular endurance system, anything that you could think of, anything that you want to know about, anything that you don't understand. I want you to write down that question. Hold on to that. Okay. Now, in order to train the cardiovascular system, you want to do long distance work. So you want to do jumping rope, running, swimming, walking, anything that involves using your heart rate and bringing your heart rate up to a higher level. Alright, so now we're going to go into the muscular strength system. Okay, so muscular strength, do you have any idea, what do you think muscular strength means?
How much force can be applied.
Yep. So when we're talking about muscular strength, we were talking about the force and exertion your muscles can exert while endurance is being measured. So when you're talking about muscular strength, we want the rep range is between 4 to 10 reps. Okay, that helps build muscular strength. If somebody benches 100 pounds and somebody else benches 50 pounds, that person has twice the amount of strength. So it's not twice the amount of power. Some people get confused on. It's twice as much strength. So strength is measured by how much weight you could lift. Okay, and in order to check your muscular strength, we do a thing called 1RM. Do you have any idea what a 1RM is? So a 1RM is a 1 rep max, and it's taking the weight, any type of weight you could do in any exercise, whether it's a bench press, a bicep curl, a squat, and you can only do it 1 time. So all that force and all that energy you exert is only able to lift that weight up only approximately 1 time. Okay? So that's muscular strength. Muscular strength, like I said, some exercises that go along with it are any exercise within the fitness directory of exercises that you could do between a rep range of 4 to 10 reps. Alright, so quickly, this is just a quick quick little excerpt on muscular strength. Okay, I want you to read this. You have 2 minutes to read it. All right. I want you to pay close attention to the bullet points and what it provides, and circle the ones that we discussed. Good. Now, any questions on that? Any things that you're confused about? Anything you want more clarity on?
I'm good.
Good so far. All right. So the last one that we're gonna touch up on is muscular endurance. So muscular endurance is similar to cardiovascular endurance in the sense that we're trying to do something for a long duration. So muscular endurance is the ability of your muscles to undergo repeated contractions. Okay, so repeated contraction means how many sit-ups can you do in a minute, right? How many push-ups can you do in a minute? How many pull-ups can you do in a minute? Or how about how many push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups you can do consecutively, right? So muscular endurance allows you to do something for a repeated number of times. Also, it doesn't necessarily have to mean how many push-ups can you do in general. It could also mean how long can you hold a static hold. So a static hold is something like an ab plank. You know what an ab plank is? You've done those before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you can hold an ab plank for 1 to 3 minutes, you have some pretty good muscular endurance within your abdominal section. All right. In order to build muscular endurance, okay, you want to work out and do repetitions between 15 and 20. So anything in the 15 to 20 rep range when working out is considered muscular endurance because you're going past that 10 muscular endurance. What do you think you need to do in order to increase your push-ups? Do you continually try to do push-ups, or do you go and you increase your strength before you can increase your endurance? What do you think?
Probably increase the strength so you can do more.
Right, correct. So in order to do more, in order to have better endurance in certain muscle groups, you need to increase your strength. But in order to have better endurance when you're running, swimming, walking, sprinting for cardiovascular. So those are all the basic information that you need to know for your upcoming little quiz. So now I want you to just give me three new facts that you learned while I read over your questions. All right, and to finish now, you have a good, solid base of what you need to know. All right, so you wrote down 3 questions. All right, and these questions actually I'm going to ask you. All right, so with the information that I gave you, I'm going to ask you your own question. I want to see if you can answer how much of the information you retain and what your thought process is answering these questions. So, first question was, how can the cardiovascular system be improved for better performance? I want you to tell me. I want you to speak it to me. Don't write it. I want you to tell me. I want you to speak out loud on how you. So, how can the cardiovascular system be improved for better performance? What do you think?
You can use muscular strength to improve how many times you could do something, and then by doing that, then you can improve how much you can do on a certain period of time.
So, if you were trying to increase your cardiovascular system and you were building strength in your legs, do you think that's going to help you with running and in running longer distances, which in return will help your cardiovascular system improve?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Question 2. Do muscles recover well when lifting a larger amount at your 1 RM?
So if you lift your 1 rep max, then your muscles will recover the same way that it would recover if you were lifting the same amount at 4 to 10 reps.
Correct. Your muscles will, depending on the amount of energy inserted into your muscles and your recovery time for your own self, it really varies. So there is really no difference between recovery for 1 RM with as long as endurance. Yep. All right. And last one. If it decreases after 2 weeks of inactivating, which we're talking about muscular endurance, how many times a week should I work on this? So how many times a week do you think you should work on your muscular endurance if you think it decreases after 2 weeks of inactivating?
I would say that like once a week would be fine to work on.
As long as you continue your job, I want to have you fill the exit slip out, and we're all done.